This is a Crack House Chronicles production.
Welcome to the Crack House Chronicles, your favorite true crime podcast. I am Donnie, and with me is a man that asks. He just wonders how many calories he can burn by petting his dog. It's Dale.
A bunch.
You can?
Yeah, because they're very needy and very big.
Yeah.
Times 3.
They're like big babies.
Yeah, extra large.
Yeah. He just told me the other day we had some storms come rolling through here, and they were up all in your lap.
Oh, God, yeah, the big one. He usually not like it. You know, the smaller female dog we have, she gets really nervous during storms. She can't take it. But the other one, he act like he didn't really bother too much. But the other night is a whole different story. I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, he's in my lap. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah.
He's huge.
He was wanting daddy.
Yeah, he was bad. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Get
He's
off
just
me.
looking at me like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm scared.
Yeah, I need some therapy, man. This thunder's scaring me.
It scared me.
What's going on today, dude?
You know, same old, man.
Yeah, back in the Crack House doing an episode today.
Yeah, we got a good one.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. You got any good shout outs or anything you want to talk about?
Well, we might have something to talk about. We have another brand new Apple Podcast 5-star review, and this comes from CTRAM9. That is letter CTRAM 9. CTRAM 9.
CTRAM 9.
And it is entitled, Great Job.
Hey, what happened to CTRAM 1 through 8?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Everybody let us know about that.
Okay.
It might be up to 10 by now. I don't know. Anyway, as a longtime native of Shelby and Gaffney, it's great to see two local guys cover crimes in the area so well.
Oh,
Exclamation.
Wow, 2 exclamations.
Yeah, he's excited.
They're exclamating today.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks much there for CTRAM9 for taking a little time to give us that review and type a few words in the box to let us know you did, and we really appreciate that. Thanks so much.
We do appreciate it a bunch. If anybody else wants to be like CTRAM9, you can go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rate and review. Just write something in that box, and we'll give you a big old shout out when we get a notification for it.
That's right. Also, I'd like to give a little shout out to our buddy Todd Hamby, man. That was cool. He pushed up a show a little bit last week and got a lot of exposure from that, I think.
Oh, and get this too. Todd, he donated a little bit of money to the PayPal.
Oh, man.
He did.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Helps every little bit.
Yes, it does. We appreciate you, Todd.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much.
He's a hardcore fan and listener of the show.
Yeah, I actually reached out to him the other night and told him how I appreciate him, spreading the word. And he said, man, I love what y'all do. You're my favorite podcast, and you do a lot for the community. Keep on rocking.
Wow.
So, man, what a guy.
Yeah, it's like I told somebody the other day. We're just two guys with a microphone.
That's right. We're just having a good time and spreading the word.
Yeah, but we don't share a microphone.
Nay.
Dale has his and I have mine.
That's right.
Yeah, and I just look at him across the table.
Yeah, we just eye to eye.
Yeah, eye to eye. All right, dude, after this short break, man, we're going to get on this wild and crazy episode.
Yeah.
All right, Dale, we're back, man. And
not like Batman, but Batman.
Back.
No.
We are back, man.
Back, man.
But man, this is a wild, crazy, unsolved case.
I'm gonna get your head right for this one, man. It's got a little rough.
It is. It's rough, and just be ready.
I say little, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
But we're going up to the state of Illinois for this one.
Getting out of town for a while.
Yeah, we're going up there to a little town called Ina, Illinois.
Little is the key word here.
Yeah, it's very little. And just a little bit on this town of Ina. It is described as a village.
Yes.
In the county of Jefferson County, Illinois. And according to the 2020 census, it had a population of 1641.
Wow, explosion.
But at the time of this story we're talking about, in 1987, it had a population of what, around
460, I believe.
Yeah.
Less than 500.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Because it's very important for this case.
Yes.
About 460.
Yes.
At the time of this
I'm pretty sure that was
crime.
Definitely less than 500. 460 is what I'd heard.
Yeah. But we're talking today about a family. Their last name was Dardeen. And the patriarch of
That's
this...
Dardeen.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
And the patriarch of this family, his name is Keith. He is a native of Mount Carmel, Illinois.
Is that Carmel?
Carmel or Caramel? Carmel.
It's always in there.
Carmel.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. And Keith was working at a water treatment plant This was on the Rend Lake Water Conservancy District near where they lived in Ina.
Well, I think they had moved up here just so they could get this job, right?
Yeah.
Because they hadn't been there long.
And his wife, Elaine, she was from Albion, Illinois. And they had met and married, and they had a 2-year-old son. His name was Peter. And Dale, they were living in a mobile home. It was a beige and brown mobile home.
Yeah, they moved up here and bought them a mobile home and rented a little spot of land from a farmer out on the edge of town there.
Yeah, so they were living out in the country, just doing their thing, living their life. And Keith's wife, Elaine, she had found a job after they moved there as a manager or some kind of secretary at an office supply store in nearby town of Mount Vernon.
There's a whole lot of mounts up here, ain't there?
Yes, they are. Mount Carmel and Mount Vernon. But when they weren't working, the couple, they were part of a church that they went to. They were actually involved in a musical ensemble there at this church. Keith sang lead vocals, and his wife Elaine played the piano.
If you look at him, you'd think he was in the barbershop quartet, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he had a very cool mustache.
Oh, wow.
One of them big.
It's epic.
Yeah, very. I mean, yeah, his mustache could have his own Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, but in 1987. Elaine, the wife, she became pregnant with their second child.
Yes.
And they had decided to name the baby either Ian or Casey, depending on whether it was going to be a boy or a girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already had a son.
Yeah, Peter.
His name was Peter. Yeah.
2-year-old son. The pending addition to their family, Elaine going to have a baby, the family had led Keith and Elaine to strongly consider moving by the late end of the year to put their mobile home up for sale. That's what they were wanting to do. And that wasn't the only reason they were wanting to move, Dale.
Right.
According to some family members and even Keith's mom, Joanne Dardeen, she said Keith was wanting to move back to Mount Carmel where he was from, even if he wasn't able to find a job, because things were getting so bad and violent there around Ina, Illinois.
You're right.
Because, Dale, there had been 15 homicides in Jefferson County during the previous 2 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Starting with those homicides that were committed by a guy by the name of Thomas Odell.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, he was a Mount Vernon teenager. I think he was 15
He
years.
was 15, yeah.
15, yeah. And, man, this guy had killed his parents and 3 siblings. And he done this as they individually returned home one night.
Yeah, Donnie, he said that he had done some acid and was just sitting around and decided when his dad came home, he just took a butcher knife and stabbed him to death.
Yeah.
And then waited for his mom to come home.
Left his dad laying there.
Yeah. And then she came home and stabbed her to death. And the other 2 siblings, one was stabbed to death and one was strangled. So he killed his whole family.
Killed his whole family, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
But this Thomas Odell, as well as some of the others charged with murder in the cases around town, residents, they started to become fearful.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's also some rapes and robberies and stuff going on. Even found a 10-year-old girl lying nude in the road somewhere and been beaten and killed. Actually had been, I think, stepped on and killed.
Yeah, this was in May of 1987.
So I think that was kind of like the last straw when that happened. He was like, the hell with this, I'm ready to get out of here. And he had kind of even regretted moving when all this started happening because they were trying to better themselves, and find a good place to raise his family.
Yeah. And Keith, because of all this violence going on, he became very protective of the family.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was one night they were at home there in their little mobile home, and there was a woman came to the door asking if she could use the phone to make a phone call.
Either that or he watched a lot of horror movies and he knew don't do it.
Yeah.
The old, my car broke down, can I come in the house?
Yeah. But Keith even refused to let her come in the house.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. Maybe thinking that she was with some other people just using this woman as a ruse to get in.
Set up city.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So we're moving up to November the 18th of 1987. Now, Keith, he's been described as a very reliable worker at his water treatment plant where he was working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And on this day, he didn't show up for his job. He didn't even call in to inform his supervisor that he was going to be late or come in or anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. It was very unusual.
Yeah. And there were some calls that went to his house that went unanswered.
Yeah, I think actually the supervisor had called his house like once an hour for 5 hours and never got an answer, either answer machine or nothing,
Yeah.
because there was no voicemail,
And
it's all old landline phones.
Yeah. And also Keith's supervisor had called Keith's parents They were divorced at the time, but they still lived near each other there in Mount Carmel.
Yeah, they were emergency contacts.
Yeah.
So after he didn't get a hold of them for those 5 hours, they're like, something's up. So he called the emergency contact, see if they knew anything.
And neither of Keith's parents knew what could have happened to their son Keith.
Right. They didn't he ain't here.
So Keith's father, Don Dardeen, he called the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and agreed to drive down to Ina with a house key.
Yes.
And he was going to meet the deputies at the trailer.
For like a welfare check.
Yeah, to find out what was going on.
Correct.
Now, their trailer, it was between Illinois Route 37 and the former Illinois Central Railroad tracks, which is now used by Union Pacific.
Gotcha.
And it's just north of the Franklin County line.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's like 2 roads and then really 3 railroads that they're kind of right in the middle of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a busy place for it to be such a small little village here.
So when they got out to the trailer, they were going to go in and see what was going on. The county deputy was going to go in, and he didn't even need the key to get in. No, the back door was open,
Right.
unlocked. And they got in, the deputy got in there and got to looking around and didn't really see anything. And then
Yeah,
at first, then when he got back there into the bedroom, that's when there was a horrific sight.
Yeah.
There were 3 bodies there in the home.
Right.
Yeah. And there in the bed, they found...
Well, when they walked in, they didn't know there were 3 bodies.
No.
All they knew something was going on because they seen a bunch of blood and some stuff, and they seen Elaine in the bed and Peter in the bed.
Yeah.
Right.
And
but they were kind of wrapped up, I don't know, kind of almost posed, would you say?
Kind of. You know, like they were tucked into bed.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in between Elaine and their 2-year-old son, Peter, was a newborn girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't know this at first. They knew this after the coroner got there, but we kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but we got to go back and say what happened to these folks.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that. But the coroner got out there, and they found out that Elaine had been beaten with a baseball bat. Peter had been beaten with a baseball bat.
Yeah, well, and... Man, this is rough.
And during this...
This was a baseball bat that Peter had been given for his birthday.
By his dad.
Yeah.
So they got to looking into it, and they found out that Elaine had been beaten so badly, and during her traumatic event, her body went into some kind of survival mode, and
Such shock, I think.
yeah, and she went into labor and gave birth to this newborn girl,
Yeah.
this baby. Yeah,
And it was beat to death with a baseball bat.
the newborn
Yes.
beaten to death. I can't even imagine.
Man, we got to take a second here. Because, yeah, it's just... So somebody had come in somewhere, somebody, and picked up a bat that was in the house. So did they have a weapon with them? Did anyone just decided to use this? We don't know. I mean, and just beat her to death. Beat this child to death. Beat this newborn baby.
That she just had.
Death. Yeah. In front of them, apparently.
Yeah,
To death with a baseball bat.
yeah, I can't even imagine the sight. Yeah,
It had to be a horrific sight. I mean, you think about it, it had to be splatter everywhere.
yeah. But Keith was nowhere around.
No,
Nor,
was the family car.
yeah, it was a 1981 Plymouth. And the investigators, they got to thinking that Keith had killed his wife and his kids and was at large.
Yeah, because they're trying to find him.
Yeah. So there were a team of armed police that went out to Keith's mom's house in Mount Carmel looking for him.
Yeah, because they figured, that was a good place to hide. They already talked to the dad. He ain't seen him.
Mm-hmm.
So they called her. I think they called, and she said she hadn't seen him, but they went down there anyway.
And they were hanging out the house maybe thinking he was going to show up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was semi-protection for her or just looking for him.
Probably a little
in
bit
general.
of both.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, but she didn't know where he was. Keith's dad didn't know where he was. They hadn't heard from him.
No.
Yeah, and Keith hadn't shown up for work either.
Right.
So this search ended for Keith the following day.
Well, and we listened to an interview with Keith's mom, Joanne, and she said that Keith's sister, her daughter, had taken her to the hospital to get her some kind of medication to help her sleep and feel better for just finding out about her daughter-in-law and her grandkids.
Yeah.
And while they were sitting there, they heard a lady sitting down from them had got a phone call and was talking on the phone and said, "What do you mean they found that Dardeen man?" And that's how she found out something was going on, because somebody else had got a phone call at the hospital.
Just overhearing a phone call.
Yeah. So then they found out what was going on.
Yeah. They had found Keith.
Yes.
Yeah, Keith had been found.
Some hunters had run across his body.
Yeah. Keith's body was in a wheat field not far from the trailer.
Right.
And it was just south of the Franklin-Jefferson County line. So his body was found in another county.
Yes.
And it was actually near the Wren Lake College. And Keith had been shot 3 times.
At least, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, several times in the head.
And once in the chest.
Once in the chest.
But that wasn't all, Dale.
No, it gets worse.
It gets worse. Keith, laying out in this wheat field, his pants had been pulled down, and his penis was cut off.
Severed.
Yes. So let's just unpack this for a little bit.
You can take a breath on this, man. This is rough, man.
Yeah. Keith's wife and 2 little kids are found beaten to death in the trailer.
Tucked into the bed. And then, they said when the coroner came, at first they just knew it was bad, and he came, and when he started kind of unwrapping the bodies, that's when they found the baby.
Yes.
In between her and 3-year-old Peter.
Mm-hmm.
So that scene had to be horrific, and whoever walked in on that probably still scarred to this day.
Oh, yes, I can't even imagine.
How could you? I mean, that's just children, man.
Yeah.
And then, meanwhile,
Keith, his body's found in a field, shot 3 times, and his penis cut off.
Right.
Their murders are totally different.
So different.
Types of murders.
We got vicious baseball bat beatings, and then gunshots and mutilation.
Yeah.
Then they find Keith's car.
Yeah, and it was found parked outside the police station in Benton, Illinois. It was about 11 miles south of the Dardeen trailer.
Yeah.
And Dale, inside this Plymouth,
It was a little bitty car.
Yeah, a little bitty red car. It was splattered with blood.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just blood all in it. So they're thinking that maybe Keith had been shot while inside the car.
Right.
And
they said he had like a head wound, so what they're thinking is he had been shot a couple, I guess he had several head wounds, but I mean, one of them said that he looked like he had been shot in the car and then maybe drug out of the car and maybe hit his head when they pulled him out and then
pulled into that wheat field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then severed.
Yeah. But news of this massacre made the residents around this area even more fearful, more than it had already been.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And many residents, they began getting shotguns, buying bullets, ammunition, keeping guns in their cars and their gun racks beside the bed, behind the door.
It's kind of odd that I heard, one thing we looked into, and they said that people started riding around with the guns in their gun racks. But if you think about it, back in 1987, that's probably not unusual anyway, especially here. Back in the day, you could have a gun in your gun rack in your truck and go to school.
Yeah, pull up to school, yeah.
Not today, but
then go hunting after school.
Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but still, this is how panicked the people were.
Oh, God.
Yeah, even after high school events, games and stuff.
Students, you got to go back and remember, 460 people.
Yeah. Small
community.
Yeah, the students wouldn't even go out of the schools. They would wait in the school for their parents to come pick them up from events.
Yep, or the pickup line. You stay inside to pick up the car, pull up. That's your car. You can go out.
And they'd even have people accompany them to the car for their ride home.
So, yeah, terrified.
Yeah, it changed everything. This
Can you imagine?
Small little area.
Now, this trailer was kind of out by itself. It wasn't like in a trailer park or anything.
Like you said, the land, they rented this land from a farmer. So it had to be out, in the country.
Because this is, what'd you say, is like 2 square miles of land in this place, and most of it's farmland.
And this is southern Illinois, so it is farm country.
Yeah, lots of open land.
And early reports from police about the crime were limited and sometimes contradictory, allowing some rumors to spread.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be more problems with this being 2 counties.
Yeah, because, the 2 counties' respective coroners, they differed on whether Keith had died from a head injury or being shot.
And then what a different coroner, I guess, done. It's just crazy.
Done the wife and the 2 kids.
Yeah, the family.
Yeah.
And they even said, I even seen one place where they said they thought maybe the coroner was really just a regular doctor during the day, and then coroner, also the coroner because there wasn't no need for a lot of stuff because it's such a small place.
Yeah, he would treat you for a cold during the day and pronounce you dead at night. Yeah, kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You imagine what he thought when he walked into this.
I know, but the circumstances under which Elaine gave birth, perhaps, they were thinking the baby maybe have lived for a little while.
Oh, it was born alive for sure.
Yeah.
Joanne said that in that interview.
And there was
What
also
kind of person, man?
I know, and there were even some rumors that maybe the baby had been cut from the mother's womb. There were people thinking that.
Yeah, but I think that's just a rumor.
I think so too. I think the trauma from being beat to death, that was a survival instinct.
Yeah.
And the body just taking over to...
Yeah, I read some stuff on that. It said sometimes that happens in the major stress thing. It's a survival instinct that kicks in, and it figures that the baby's got a better chance being outside the mother if it's some kind of severe trauma's going on.
Make it more viable, yeah. But along with the mutilation of Keith's genitals, this supported maybe some speculation that some Satanists were active in the area.
Well, satanic panic, 1880s.
Yeah. Maybe it performed a ritual sacrifice on the family.
Yeah. But there was no signs of that. It was just rumors.
There were any kind of satanic symbols on the walls or anything like that. Nothing like that. Now, this Dr. Garretson, a family physician who also doubled as the county coroner, he told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch in early December that many of the patients talked to him about the case and how it disturbed him. And one man who said he lived a half a mile from the Dardeen's trailer told the doctor he was having difficulty sleeping and lost 14 pounds as a result of the stress. And also unable to sleep, was the Dardeen's landlord's daughter, who told her parents years later that she kept her bedroom light on at night, just to be able to sleep out of fear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't have much to go on here. They talk to people, and Keith was a stand-up guy. He was always, at work. We didn't have many enemies. He went to church. They talked to, according to his mother, that they talked to over 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got 1,000 people.
In a town of 400.
But, and said that nobody, not one person said anything bad about him. He was very frugal with his money, and nothing was stolen from the house. Everything was there. The VCR was there, which in 1987 was a big deal. The VCR, and it had a nice camera. There was cash in the house, the jewelry, everything was still there. So it was not robbery. And, at first they thought maybe she was sexually assaulted, but I think that was proved not to have happened.
Yeah.
And so they're like, why? The big question is why and then who? And it was like they have nothing. It's just this incredibly gory crime scene, really two incredibly gory crime scenes in two different counties, and they don't have nothing going.
No. And local police agencies, they joined forces with the Illinois State Police to investigate this crime. And a total of 30 detectives worked full-time following leads and interviewing, like you said, over 100 people.
Yeah.
And none of them proved fruitful in any of this.
Even the FBI couldn't come up with a profile to have somebody look, to kind of give them a target to look for, because it was so bizarre and it didn't fit anything that they had come across. Because he has two totally different crime scenes.
Types of crimes. Keith's murder and the wife and the two kids was totally different.
Yeah.
Now, there was a man taken into custody early on. He was released after being questioned, and likewise, there was a co-worker of Keith's with whom he had reportedly been having a dispute with, but this guy was cleared. I mean, we all have people who...
Well, I mean, you're going to have a dispute, but my God, man, you're going to massacre the whole damn family because you get into it at work. This is crazy.
Dispute is one thing, but murder is another thing.
Ooh, and this is way beyond just murder.
But, nobody, like you said, nobody knew anything bad to say about the couple.
No.
And they got to looking into the trailer, trying to investigate what happened. But they did find a small quantity of marijuana in the trailer.
They did. But also they did not find anything in the touch screens on either person.
No.
Alcohol or drugs or nothing.
No, but they didn't know if this marijuana had been from years past, had been there.
Or if somebody left it there.
Yeah.
To maybe make it look bad.
Yeah, but they said it was a small amount.
Very small.
Not even enough to get, bent out of shape over.
Right.
And police even believe the marijuana might have been, like you said, left behind by the killers.
Right.
The coroner put the time of death for all of the Dardeen family within an hour of each other.
So really, we don't know who's killed first.
We really don't. And the bodies in the trailer had been killed 12 hours before they were found. And Keith Dardeen had been dead for 24 to 36 hours when he was found.
And then one corner said maybe even 48, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was a waterbed in the house. So the waterbed had the heater on, so that would kind of distort the time of death a little bit. And Joanne said in that interview that Keith's body had actually there had been some bad weather came through. Mm-hmm. So that could distort it as well. It's really hard. They know it was almost, they're trying to figure it, maybe it was, like you said, an hour apart.
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know which way.
Yeah.
We don't know if, we don't know nothing.
But, at the trailer, the killer or killers had apparently taken the time not only to tuck Elaine into the bed along with her kids, but they cleaned up the crime scene a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, it's been reported. We don't know how much.
Yeah, it says reported, but I'm think about it. I mean, you beat 3 people to death with a ball bat. That's got to be stuff everywhere.
There's going to be blood spatter, blood spray. It's going to be gory, man.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah.
And then her giving birth on top of that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's...
But
I just can't wrap my head around it.
I know, but they got to looking into some motives, and determining the motive of the assailant or assailants was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Like we said, the back door had been left open, and there was no evidence of forced entry.
Yeah, and it looks like with such violence, you would think it was somebody who had really, a rage killing. But why? And they thought maybe one of the two of them maybe was having an affair or something.
They did. They was thinking that. They got to looking into that, but they didn't see any sign of infidelity on either side of these two people.
No.
Mm-mm.
And then they thought, like you said, maybe it was they didn't really think. They're just going through all the channels because the only thing they have, maybe it was a drug dealing thing, and then like with the weed they found. But I don't think that. And then also they found a little bit of some stuff like a gambling thing, and it was some sports scores, and then some stuff with under and over scores and stuff, kind of like a parlay.
Yeah, it was a stack of papers with sports scores that was found in the house.
Handwritten, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like maybe he was looking at a parlay card from work. Is what I was thinking.
But they were thinking Keith might have maybe had some gambling debts.
Gambling debts or a bookie or something.
But them talking to Keith's mom, Joanne, she told the police that her son was so frugal that he raised money for his son Peter's college fund by reselling 50-cent cans of soda at work.
Yeah, so he's taking stuff to work to sell to make a little bit extra money. I don't think I don't know. Nothing makes sense in this case. Nothing.
No. And despite the widespread fear of this community, Lewis, the Franklin County coroner, he didn't believe the Dardeens were randomly chosen. He said, I believe that it was very personal, a deliberate thing. This is what he told the Post-Dispatch. And there was a police expert on cults told the newspaper that the rumor that Satanists were responsible was untrue, since such groups would, they would mutilate bodies more extensively. They would harvest organs and leave symbols and lit candles at the crime scenes. But none of these indications had been found at the Dardeens' trailer.
Cult expert.
Yeah. Bring in a cult expert, yeah. But police did allow for the possibility that while the Dardeens were chosen purposefully, it may have been a case of mistaken identity by the killer or killers.
God almighty, I just don't know, dude.
Keith's mom, Joanne, said later that she considered other motives. Maybe someone might have had for killing of her son and family. She said, I think someone wanted Keith to sell drugs and he refused. This is what she said in 1997, 10 years later. Or there's a possibility someone liked Elaine and she wouldn't accept this person's advances, and he took out the rage on both of them. We just don't know.
Come on, man. To me, neither one of those makes sense.
Yeah.
We want you to sell drugs. No, okay, well, I'm going to kill your family with a baseball bat, and I'm going to take you off here in the field and shoot you, and then take you out of the field and do what to do.
Yeah. Crazy. But eventually the police exhausted all leads and had to start working on other cases. And 2 FBI profilers came to the area to review the evidence. And they were able to make some suggestions, but generally they found the crime defied their typical methods.
Yeah, like I said.
Yeah. It didn't fit.
Nothing fits.
But Joanne, she didn't give up, man. This woman was a trooper on trying to find out stuff. She kept this in the public eye. And even throughout the 1990s, she regularly called the one detective still assigned to the case, offering possible leads she had learned or asking, talking to people around town, people, I guess, suggesting things to her.
Right.
And Joanne, she even gathered 3,000 signatures from area residents to get a petition to get this story featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show, which is a big deal back in.
Well, it's a big deal, plus she was out of Chicago, so this is just right down the road.
Yeah. They were asking producers to do a segment on the killings of Keith and his family.
But
they turned it down, saying this crime was too brutal for daytime TV. Yeah.
I get that.
It is brutal, man. But America's Most Wanted, it's a big show at the time.
Yeah.
They had a similar reaction at first, but then changed their mind, and they ran a segment on this story in 1998.
But it turned up very little leads.
Yeah, it didn't
If
do
anything.
I know. And police were briefly interested in a serial killer. His name was Angel Maturino Resendez.
Yeah, he was a Mexican serial killer.
Yeah. It was. But he had an alias. His alias was Rafael Resendez Ramirez, and they had him after he surrendered to authorities in Texas in 1999.
Now, he was known to ride trains and go from here to there.
Hopping trains.
Yeah, transit.
Freight trains.
You know, and like I said, if you look where this place was, there's like 3 major train tracks, I guess you say, right around this place. So I can see why they would look at something like that.
Because that's where he would choose his victims, near these tracks.
Right. You know, come into town, kill them, jump back on the train, gone.
But the authorities were never able to connect him with this crime.
No, so I think they ruled him out, really.
Yeah. And then there was another serial killer that was in Texas that would soon bring himself to the attention of the investigators.
Yes.
This was on the last day of 1999. This guy, his name was Tommy Lynn Sales.
Sells.
Yeah, and he had cut the throat of 2 girls near Del Rio, Texas.
Man, these girls, they were spending the night, and this girl woke up and looked over, and this dude's killing this girl beside her.
Yeah. And both of them had their throats cut, but one survived.
Yeah, she tried to be quiet, but because she's like, oh no, but he turned his attention to her right after that and sliced her throat, but she lived.
Yeah, and she was able to get out and get help.
Yeah, and gave him a description, and they caught him. That's how they caught him.
Yeah.
But this guy was a bad dude.
Yeah, Tommy Lynn Sales. He was convicted and sentenced to death for that murder.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 year earlier in 1999, where he had killed a girl in San Antonio. And while he was awaiting trial on the first murder charge, he began confessing to other murders he had committed while drifting around the country.
Right.
Sometimes hopping freight trains.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think he claimed he killed up to 70 people, but I think they got 20-something. They're pretty sure he did, but he only got convicted for that one.
And one of these confessions was the Dardeen family.
Yeah, he said he did it.
Yeah. And Sales said he didn't remember a lot of the details about all the crimes, but he admitted to, in which he describes as a coping strategy from the sexual abuse that he had endured as a kid.
Yeah.
In the Missouri area, around, I guess, the Missouri Boot Heel. This is a little part of Missouri, that little tag off of it that sort of droops down off the state.
Yeah, we'll have to cover him sometime.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to cover Tommy Lynn Sales. But, he didn't remember a lot of these cases because he said there were so many.
Yeah.
And in the 1980s, Tommy Lynn Sales was living primarily near St. Louis, was about 90 miles northwest of Jefferson County, where this Dardeen family murder took place.
But he's also always been a transient, so he was a train rider too.
Yeah, and he was working in some carnivals and fairs and
whatever he had to do.
A day laborer and thieving, whatever he could do. And for the later pursuit, he often hitched rides with truck drivers and hopped freights without any particular destination in mind. And anywhere a ride was going, he was headed that way.
Yes.
And might be Illinois today, Oklahoma tomorrow, he said. And he even said that it was through some of these modes of transportation, that's when he became familiar with the Ina area. And on one trip through Jefferson County, he claimed, this in 2010, that he met Keith Dardeen at a truck stop near Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
And also, he even retold this story to authorities, retelling it a little bit, that he met Keith in a pool hall.
So he told 2 different stories. I think the one when he said he met him at a truck stop, they hit it off, and he invited him back to his house. Keith did.
Yeah, for a meal.
Yeah.
And then after the meal, this Tommy Lynn Sales, he said that he was just going to move on, leave, and go about his business. But Keith triggered something in him. He allegedly said that Keith propositioned him into a threesome with his wife, Elaine.
I won't believe that for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 7+ months pregnant here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I just met you at the truck stop. You want to come over to the house and have a burger and jump in the sack with me and my pregnant wife?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Especially we know as protective as he was of his family.
Yeah, he said
I don't believe that for a second.
This triggered him because of his previous sexual abuse as a kid.
Right. And there is also saying that, one was a 3-way and the other one was the homosexual advances.
Yeah, he said that Keith also propositioned him into a homosexual encounter.
And everybody said that there ain't no way that Keith was gay in any way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This dude just sounds like to me he's just trying to figure a way to get out of Texas prison.
I think so, because he said he forced Keith at gunpoint to drive to where his body was found, killed and mutilated him, then returned to the trailer to kill Elaine and the 3-year-old and the baby.
Right. So he had some facts wherever he had found them from, and a lot of them fit, but then a lot of them didn't, because the way she was in the bed, he said it a whole different way, and some other stuff about Keith, the details were very wrong.
Yeah.
But he also did say that he had seen some watermelon ceramics in the house, which were there and was probably not part of any news story.
No.
So
he was saying stuff that police holdback had that nobody knew about.
So it's kind of like, okay, well, keep talking, but then a lot of it's wrong. So I don't know. I don't think the dude had nothing to do with it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. This is like a lot of serial killers, especially if they're on death row. They want to start, claiming other stuff. They probably read about it here or there and start claiming, and that way maybe they can get out and go get a cheeseburger. And that really he was trying to get them. Well, actually, Illinois wanted to bring him up there, and so he could show them some stuff around and see if he could help them solve this case. But Texas said he's a death row inmate. He ain't going nowhere.
I know. He even said that he was just so pissed off from this proposition, he took it to the maximum limit. He said rage don't have a stop button.
Right.
He implied that that's why he killed the infant Elaine had delivered during the crime as well. And he also had a third version of his story. Sales said that with the encounter with Keith and the sexual proposition entirely, according to that account, that he got off of the freight that he'd been dropped off near Ina, and when he saw the Dardeen trailer, it had a for sale sign on it, because Keith was wanting to sell this trailer to move back to Mount Carmel.
Yeah, he's ready to get out of there.
Yeah, so he went to the trailer trying to find out more about to buy it or something.
Well, what he said is he went up and he seen the for sale sign and he thought this would be a good opportunity, so he drank a couple beers
with Keith,
and then he went up and knocked on the door. Well, he drank the beers first, and
okay,
then went up and knocked on the door because he wanted to see the trailer, to see what it looked like, and that was his in.
Yeah.
The beer drinking thing that he said before was when he said he brought him home from the truck stop.
Okay.
What you said, yeah. So both is correct, but two different stories. But I don't believe that one either.
Yeah, they say he knocked on the door, wary Keith that he was interested in buying the trailer.
Yeah, so he just walked up in the yard with a 6-pack of beer and
I guess, and he said he then overpowered Keith, made him bind and gag his wife and son with duct tape, and then forced him to drive his car to a nearby field at gunpoint. And that's where he sliced Keith's penis off, telling him he was going to take it back to Elaine, and then shot him and left him there.
Right. Now, Elaine was bound up and duct taped up.
Yes.
So that part is true, that she was actually, bound and gagged. But I don't think he did it.
And then he said at the trailer he raped Elaine, then beat Peter and the newborn to death. And then after cleaning up, he drove Keith's car to Benton, and that's where he left it in front of this police station.
So why would he do that? That makes zero sense.
Makes no sense to me.
If you're going to leave the car anywhere, it damn sure wouldn't be in front of the police station. But somebody did.
Somebody left it there,
but
all bloody. And you looked at pictures of this area on Google Earth and Google Street View, and it's just, the police station is right, like in a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of just very rural place.
House across the road.
And I'd heard somewhere that this police station was fairly near the courthouse as well. But if you look at the police station and you just do a 360 from standing in front of the road, it's just houses like it's in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it's just, and there's no railroad track close to there that I could find. There's probably one couple miles maybe down, I don't know, but I couldn't see one fairly close that I looked for, because I'm like, why would he take it there, and drop off the car there, unless it was a pretty easy way out?
Yeah, unless the killer or killers or this Tommy Lynn Sales had a car waiting there, or somebody waiting on him.
Why in the hell would you go to the police station?
I don't know.
It doesn't make no sense.
It does make no sense at all.
If you're a serial killer, you don't want to be nowhere near the police. You want to, in my opinion, I don't know, I'm not a serial killer, but I would, especially if you're the transient train cow, you'd go in there and kill the family, go back, jump on the train, and be out of town.
Oh yeah,
is the way I would look at it. To me, this is just a mind-boggling, gruesome.
And him being a transient, if anything in the house that he could pocket and sell, cash or jewelry,
yeah,
he'd take it.
Yeah, for sure.
None of that was taken.
Nothing that they could find. They could tell that nothing at all was taken from the house.
Mm-mm.
not even the guns. You know, he was shot, and even Joanne said, you know, they were looking to say, well, maybe he was shot with his own gun, but what they found his guns there.
Yeah, Keith had 2 guns.
He had a handgun and a shotgun, and they were both there.
Yeah.
Neither one was a murder weapon. So I think this guy's just trying to pad his resume and look better than the prisoners, and truthfully trying to get out of jail for a little while.
Well, he knows he's in Texas. They're going to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to execute him. And maybe he's trying to get out of there to another state that doesn't have the death penalty, or he can get another charge to be put somewhere else in another state and get just life in prison.
Right.
But Texas, they didn't let him go.
No, they didn't even let him go. Look, you're not even going to go up there and walk around the crime scene or, you know, the area and point out stuff. You're not leaving. You're on death row. Sorry, son. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
And he was done. They executed him.
Yeah, they did. And Tommy Lynn Sells' execution was in 2014. And there was some investigators said that the execution of Tommy Lynn Sells was justice for the Dardeens as well. He was never charged for their murders, but he remains the #1 suspect. And there was a Jefferson County state attorney, his name was Doug Hoppin, said a week after the execution, and even Sheriff Robert Mulch agreed. They said the county deputy sheriff who interviewed Tommy Lynn Sells in Texas said that he knew details of the crime that had been kept confidential.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Watermelon ceramics, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I don't know. How many people had watermelon ceramics in 1987?
To me, it's going to be 2 people, because if they come in the house and all the family's there, somebody's got Keith at gunpoint while the other family is being duct taped and being subdued or whatever.
You would think it's definitely more than one.
I think it's got to be more than one.
Even if they took Keith off somewhere first, and then whoever stayed at the house done it, but then they would have to go back to the house, which means, well, I don't know. I was going to say, which means, you know, they got to worry about being there with no way out because they took his car.
Yeah. And maybe whoever was left at the house cleaned up a little bit till they got back for them.
My work's done here. I'm going to clean up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Clean the toilet and dust a little bit and vacuum. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me. Nothing makes sense at all about this case.
But Joanne, Keith's mom, her position on Tommy Lynn Sells' guilt has evolved. In the year 2000, when the confession was reported, saying that he'd done this, she told the Chicago Tribune that she was certain, told the police that he was a suspect.
Right.
She believed only talking to him would clear up, these lingering doubts.
Yeah. Yeah, she wanted to go talk to him, and she wanted him to
look her in the eye
and say he's sorry.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't.
Man.
And then later on, I think she's kind of like come off that belief a little bit. I don't think she's so much believes that he did it.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
If you think about it, her whole world just went out right there.
Yeah.
Pretty much. She's already divorced from her husband, so she had her son and his family.
And grandkids.
And it was grandkids. Mm-hmm. No, she's got a daughter, of course, but...
Yeah, but half her family's gone, man.
Gone. Yeah, in one day.
Yeah. But the family was buried all together in one grave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, man, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. The brutality for each murder was different.
Mm-hmm.
The wife and the 2 kids beaten to death, and then Keith shot and mutilated.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's been thought maybe, Keith was having an affair. Maybe Keith was having a homosexual affair.
Yeah. All this stuff keeps popping up, but nothing makes any sense.
Nobody had anything bad to say about this family.
Even if he was having a homosexual affair and somebody got mad and like take him away and do this to him, why would you go back and beat the hell out of the family?
It don't make no sense.
None of it makes sense. Usually, we do this a lot. And usually we got a pretty good, strong opinion one way or the other about what we think or who we thought did it.
Mm-hmm.
But this one just blows my mind. I can't get a grasp on. It's so damn violent.
Yeah. To kill a newborn baby.
It don't get much worse than that, man.
Yeah, you'd looked up the graves on Find a Grave, and the baby, it was a girl that had a girl.
Yeah, Casey Elaine.
Yeah, and the born and death date was all the same, both the same.
Yeah, November 17th, 1987. November 17th, 1987.
Yeah. That's just brutal, man.
Right.
Anyway.
One little fact of the week, thing that Ruby Elaine, which is Elaine, his wife, she went by her middle name, and when they met, they found out Russell Keith, he went by his middle name.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a little lighter fact.
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
I guess.
That they both went by their middle name, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, man, it's just brutal. But it's still unsolved today. There's nobody been brought to justice on this.
It is. All this time later.
Yeah. But anyway, that is the story of the Dardeen family murders.
The unsolved.
Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts on this. There's a lot of YouTube videos on this that you can watch and get more information on. But that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah. Well, there ain't a whole lot more. I mean, there's a whole lot of more people who speculate stuff, but as far as the right down to the nitty gritty, that's about covers it all.
Yeah, there was another podcast that we listened to on this. We try to get information from Hell and Gone. They covered this, and they done a very good job of it. That was the one that interviewed Keith's mom, Joanne.
Yeah.
And if you have a chance, go listen to that. It's really, really good.
It is good.
Well done.
Well done.
Yep. All right, man, we're going to get out of here.
Whew, let's go, man. This is rough. This is rough. It really is.
We want everyone to be safe. Please be careful and always be aware of your surroundings.
Because the next episode could be about you.
This is
The
Crack
House
House Chronicles.